Good morning, folks, and happy Friday. And as you can see by those little clips, the weather's not very clement today. We've got a wet day out there, so I'm going to focus on works inside the boat. I think I'm going to start prepping a load of the wood, getting it all ready for varnishing it and making it look nice. What's this got to do with van building? You might think. Well, it's got a lot to do with it actually, because boat building and camper van making are very similar, because you're making a living space. So woodworks and varnish and lacquers and everything else that can play a big part in van building. So what I'll do is as I'm going through this, I'll do a couple of samples of my preps, and then film a couple of techniques in varnish application. And then if some of you guys and gals out there want to apply that to your own builds, then you can, so just figured I'd share this bit with you all. Right, and I'll put in a couple of photographs on how this boat's looking now as well. This boat had been neglected in a marina for 6 years. It actually had grass growing on it. I've worked on many boats all over the world. I've never worked on a boat that was this bad. It was insane. So I'm quite pleased how this is coming out as well. So I'll put a couple of little videos and a couple of photos in it, so just to share my progress, because I'm quite pleased and proud of how this is coming out, to be honest. Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit further on the project on the yacht. This is where we are, as you've all seen. Right then, so as you can remember the state of this boat as it was. Now I'm at the stage of buffing now, so as you can see, I did this yesterday. See a nice shine on there, that's coming on. Got the rest of the hull to do. Today, I'm going to focus on this area here, this grey area here. So I'll film that by the end of the day, and you'll see it all nice and shiny, like it was when it was originally made. A lot of work to do, but we're getting there. Right then, I'll get back to you. She's coming up all right. She's coming up okay. There goes my neighbour. It's a yacht made by Princess. Bye bye. They're moving to the marina down there. Lovely. As you can see, we're getting a bit of a shine now. It's coming up. So what I've done, first of all, whenever you're using any product, and there's a number of ways you can apply things like lacquers and varnish and or paints and all that. You should always do a sample piece first. Because I've got the product I've got, it's a Ron-Seal product, and it's a satin finish. So I want to see how this wood sands up first as well. I want to see how the varnish flows, whether I can use a brush or roller or roll and tip technique. So what I've done is I've taken this door off here with this little electric screwdriver. There's all the little screws for it. I'll find a safe place for those, and this is the door. So taking all the screws out, door handle is off, because normally they have a door handle there. That is off. So I'm going to do the rear side. I'm going to do the rear side of this clean it up, sand it, take it back and do a sample on the rear side. Then if it does go wrong, or it doesn't apply, or nothing works out right, then we can put it back and no one would ever know. All right, okay, so that's that bit done, and I'll get back to you, bear with me. Righty then folks, I've just been to my van. Simple flat pieces of wood for my blocks. I want them to be hard, so I get a nice flush, clean sanding edge down, so everything is perfect. Yeah. So there's my blocks. I will be starting off with a 180 grit sandpaper, and then we'll be finishing off with a 240. And then once I apply the varnish, I will then, in between my layers of varnish, use 320 grit to clean the surface. I would normally use like an acetone or an ISO wipe, but I don't have any of that, unfortunately, so I will just use some white spirit on a rag to clean the surface before I put my applications on. Right then, so let's get on with this. This is what we're doing today, as it's not very nice out there, very wet and miserable. Right then, I'll get back to you when I've tickled this back then. Oh, and also the edges, I will, before I apply the varnish, I will tape all around this edge, so when the varnish excess starts to flow over the side, it will be on the tape and not on the other surface. Okay then guys and girls, I'll get back to you. So as you can see, this side's sanded, and this is the bit with what's left on there. So whenever you're sanding, always go with the grain, and then, because if you go the opposite way, you'll end up with scratches, and then when you apply your product, the scratches will be highlighted. All right, so it's another little tip. This is the long, arduous process of sanding. And folks, as you can see, we're all taped off. We're all sanded, sorry. Got the edges all taped off, as you can see. And then this side, once I've cleaned it with white spirit, will be ready for application. Now, I'm not from this area, so I've got to now go find a hardware store to find some rollers, little mini sponge rollers. I have synthetic brushes. This is another thing you need. This style of brush, yeah, these are known as synthetic brushes, good for varnishing. What actually happens is the varnish does not attach to the bristles, it flows off. If you use cheap brushes, that will suck all the chemical out of what you're trying to do, and it doesn't work too well. This is the varnish I'm using. Actually, this is what the customer, the owner, got me. I'm not too happy about that. I'll get back to you. Well, alrighty then folks, that's the end of this video. The customer got me the wrong product. I asked for he wanted a satin finish, so I asked for a cheapo satin yacht varnish by a company called Ron Seal, and he's gone and got me a matte clear stain. So that's the end of that. I do apologise. It looks like I'm just going to be sanding now and waiting for him to turn up with the correct product. Right then, I'll get back to you, and we'll make another video and pick this up later as I get further down the line. I don't know, eh? Have a nice weekend, everyone, anyway. Cheers.